How's it going, guys? Deity Designs here, bringing you my first tutorial for this channel. It's going to be how do you create a very simple but very cool looking intro in Cinema 4D. Now, if you've never used this program and you like this intro, want to learn, I'm going to be very vivid in this tutorial, so you're going to be able to do this from not even knowing anything about the program. Hopefully, I'm going to try to make it like that. So also, if you're new to my channel, which you most likely are since this is my first tutorial for this channel, you might know me as Kevik Productions. I have a couple channels for that, or you might know me as my Xbox Live gamer tag, Runic Deity. I'm the editor, and I also co-lead with a buddy for that clan. And this channel is basically going to be my portfolio for my edits, and also my tutorial for any design or video editing thing I do. So if you're into video editing and you want to get into it, and you want to learn some cool things, and if you want to see my work and how I do my things, subscribe. I'd love to join the community. So, all right, let's just go ahead and get into this. Stop my jabbering. This is basically the full outcome of it. I'm not gonna be. This is with softbox lighting, which is professional lighting, and I'm not gonna be using that kind of lighting, so it's gonna look a little different. And the main reason I'm not doing that is because softbox is it's a different tutorial. I will do a softbox tutorial on how to create one, how to make one, how to get this cool lighting effect, but I don't have the time to do this in this one. Also, softbox, when you have a softbox, the rendering time is literally quadrupled, so I'm not going to do that for the purpose of time. I'm going to be making something similar to this, but with a regular light. And let's go into the simulation. This is not the quality that it'll get. This is just the design preview, but this is what happens. You have these 3D balls that come down behind your rotating camera angle on your text, and they just roll around on the floor. And it's very simple, very cool looking. You can add some music, like some beat, and it would sound good, look good, and so I figured I'd do it. So let's go ahead and file new. Alright, off the bat, click MoGraph, and then go to MoText. That's how you create a new text, by the way. And for some reason, if you hit caps lock in this text window, it goes out of the text window. Actually, it didn't that time. It didn't that time. For some reason, it didn't that time, but I swear to you, it does. Sometimes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do Deity, and that font looks terrible. So I'm gonna find a font that I like, and I'm just gonna make it the same one as I did that one. And yes, it's Batman Forever, because I'm awesome. You can find a lot more fonts on the website www.defont.com. Windows 7, you just extract it from the zip it comes in, and then double click it and then install. So let's change this camera angle. We do this by coming up to this little box right here, holding the click and moving your mouse, and then we're gonna move this over by holding the red and moving it over. And really doesn't have enough depth to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and move that up to like 40. 40 is a good depth. Makes it more 3D. Whatever font you use, if this 3D effect makes it look way too crammed, way too close together, you can adjust the horizontal spacing. Alright, now in my situation, I'm going to be using two different words like that are separated, just like I showed you, Deity Designs. So click on the first one, and then hold Control, and then hold click, and then move down, and it creates a copy of that layer. Now, of course, I don't want it to say Deity, so I'm gonna change that to Designs, and I'm gonna actually move both of them up quite a bit, and I'm gonna move Designs down. I like the text to be off the floor. You know, see, this is too much to really take up in one camera angle because of the designs. I want to have it a little bit close together, so I'm going to go ahead and move the height down. Just keep the font pretty much the same size, but I know this is not lined up centered. A lot of people like it lined up centered, but I like the eyes coming together like that, so I'm going to do it that way. And let me change that camera angle back. From this point, we need to add some color to it. Double click on the bottom here, create a new material. Double click on the material. Click off specular, go to color. I'm going to go ahead and make my first one red, and then click on reflection, click it on, and then on the texture little tab here, click on Fresnel, and press OK. Now drag and drop to text 1, and then I'm gonna go ahead and copy, Control C and Control V this one, and then double click it, and then I'm changing the color to blue. And that's because I'm lazy. That's why I Control paste. Color's blue. Okay, and drag and drop on this one. Next part, we need a floor. So let's create that floor, and so now we know like where where the floor is as compared to the text. I'm gonna move that floor down. Like I said, I like it off the floor, not too far, but enough so the balls can roll under the text. It looks more realistic, more 3D. So we need to give that floor a color. So same thing, click off specular color. This time, most people, it looks a lot better with a white, solid, metallic floor, but you also need a reflection there. Make it Fresnel. There we go. And if we kick the render preview, which is up here, the very left one, it already looks, you know, pretty decent. It's not, you know, high quality awesomeness, but it's already coming together a bit. Let's go ahead and change that camera angle so we get more of the reflective insides. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so from this point we need to go click on floor and create simulation dynamics, create rigid body. What that does is, just to give you a debrief, is it makes it so the floor is solid and the balls can drop and not fall through the floor. So if you wanted to create something like that, that's what the rigid body does. Next step I would say is, let's go ahead and just jump into the lighting just so I can jump it out of there. Alright, now like I said, I can't show you the softbox thing, but I'm going to show you like a regular light. And it doesn't give you the best quality, but you know, it's something to start with. So it's just a regular light, just to give, you know, a nice lighting off of the reflectiveness. Like I said, it doesn't look as good as a softbox, but I'll get into that. If you do want to look up on Google, there are pre-made softboxes you can download. I don't have any I can give away, but if I made those softboxes that I just showed you, I would give them away, but they're actually from Video Copilot, so it'd be copyrighted. Very bad if I did that. So from this step, we need to add the balls. Now I'm not going to add every single one of them just to waste time. I'm just going to show you how to make them, because you know, 3D objects, that's the whole reason why I'm showing you the balls dropping, is the fact that you can create 3D objects and, you know, make some cool effects with them. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop a color, the same color I use on my text. And as you see in the other preview, some were red, some were blue, so I obviously variated some of them. And then that's way too big. I don't want beach balls landing on my text. So I hold Control and then click one of these and then move it down. Move it down. Alright, this is very important, and I accidentally left it out. To make the balls able to hit the ground and bounce, make sure they're all rigid bodies. That means you need to go to Simulation, Dynamics, Create Rigid Body. Yeah, sorry about that. Moving on. And then it creates this ball. And I'm going to move it up. From this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop you, and then come back up here and create a camera. Alright, now this camera, this black box right here, means that it's not set. Set the camera by clicking the black box, and that means this angle on frame 0 is looking at the text like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and click it off, and then move, you know, like around, and move the rotation a bit, and zoom out, and look more around, move the rotation a bit, and then hold on, I'm looking at the text. Then, if I wanted to look at the same view I was just looking at, just click on it, and that's your frame 0. It takes you back. This is so you can go around your whole object and, you know, get a good view of what you're making. The reason why is because I don't want my sphere on top of my text, otherwise it'll go through my text. And I could technically make it a rigid body, but I don't want it to bounce off my text. I just want it to go under. So I'm gonna, you know, line it up a little bit behind it, and out of the camera angle. This camera angle, you can tell by the green lines here, it's out of the camera angle. Now, how I'm going to, you know, have them all follow different colors, just Control C, Control V, copy and paste it, and then just, you know, move it up, down, change the color, and just make different variations. Like here, I'll show you. Click the camera off. Different variations. These, see, they're all pretty much lined up like that, but they're all at different heights, different colors, and they all fall, you know, at a different time. So it looks better that way, I think, instead of all of them falling at the same time. So just do that. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste all of these just to save time in this tutorial. Go back to my other window. I'll probably delete this nice. Which one was it? Oh crap. This one, right? And that one. Go to my camera angle, make sure it works. A little bit delayed, but it does. And to fix that delay, what I'm gonna do is go back to frame 1 to reset the balls. Look around a bit. Get an angle, just make sure I can view the camera. And then move them down. Yeah, right about there. Okay, so now let's take a look. Boom. And then they all roll. Okay, that's working alright. Let's go ahead and change the frame on this. Sorry, so I'm gonna make this 30 frames per second. So if we wanted this, you know, 4 seconds, 3, 6, 9, 12, 120 frames, and then on here and click enter, and then move this dilator here all the way to the end. And now we need to create our camera keyframes. So go back to frame 0 and click on the camera layer, and then create your keyframe here by clicking this key, and then go all the way to 120, and then find where you want your camera to end. So I want it to end there, so I'm going to click that key, and if you see, you got a nice camera angle here. It swings in. Alright, so from this point, if you look at it, you know, it's not as high quality as the other light I showed you, but, you know, it's getting there. Just add some background music to it, and you have yourself an intro. But I'm going to show you some render settings so you know exactly how to render it out. In the general, just leave it how it is. Output. On the presets, come down here, film video, and find some sort of like HDV 720. Just make sure it's 1280 by 720. You can make it, you know, a different resolution, but that's suggested by me. And then make sure the frame rate is 30 or somewhere around there. I'm gonna make it exactly 30. And by default, it says current frame. We just want to go ahead and click all frames. So 0 to 120. And then on Save tab, this is where you come up with the format. I find the best way to do this is to make it a QuickTime movie. And then go to Options, put it on H.264. It makes it a very low file size, a very high quality. So, and then click on the dot here. You go ahead and call it A1. Just put it at the top. On the multipass, don't worry about it. Anti-aliasing. To make the rendering faster, we didn't use too many reflections, so to put it on best and then take the 4x4 and put it on 2x2. That pretty much allows your reflections to be higher quality, but it does make the rendering a lot longer. So, and then we got that out of the way. You don't have to mess with options. All we do is click this middle button here, and it starts rendering it out. Okay, and here's the example of the intro without the softbox, just the regular light. Thanks guys for watching. Tune in next time.